Hello everyone, welcome back to the R tutorial for beginners part 2. In this video, I will be covering how to manipulate subset of the data frame. To give a very brief overview of what I will be showing here, assume that you have a data frame of something that shows rainfall in a column and months in a column, and you want to separate only those rows that have months of 1, 2, 1, 3, and 7, which is basically January, uh, February, March, April. So it's January, April, and then it is like 1, 7. I have to calculate that, however. So in this case, uh, what I will do is I will separate only those rows from a data frame which have months given them given months. So I will show different ways. So let us go back to the R code we have been using throughout the tutorial, and you can clearly see that there will be a section in the R code that is covering this part. To manipulate a data frame, the first example I showed is method 1, which is one of the ways. What I did here is, the first thing I want to do here is to identify the row IDs or indices where the months are 1, 3, and or 7. So in this case, for example, a very useful function, which function, what it says is each of the month column, each of the month column in data frame df is 1 or 3 or 7. So if I press Control Enter and then check what it is, so these are the ID of the rows where you will basically see this month. So in order to see what's going on in the data frame, just see the first maybe 12 lines, for example, df and 12. So here we can see that the row ID for 1 is 1, 3, then basically 7 is 7, and then the next one will be 13. So if I see the row IDs here, 1, 3, 7, and then 13. So these are just checking if everything working well. The next thing I did is I'm just creating a new data frame and writing the data frame that from which I want to subset data and writing the IDs I'm interested in. As I have shown before, that anything before the comma is basically a row, and after the comma is a column. So in this case, I'm writing the IDs here, which is separating those specific rows. So if I run this code and again, now I check the new data frame, for example, df.new1, sorry, let's write it again, df.new1. And here you see only those row which have the selected months are selected. So another method that is like even faster, I guess faster, but that's also really useful. The first thing I do here is I'm creating a variable that has a vector of numeric values of the month, like 1, 3, and 7. And then what I'm doing here, I'm using a function. I'm using something like percent in percent. What it does is saying in the df data frame, the df data frame's column month, whoever having values equal to this month vector are selected or are considered. For example, let's see, run this line and again check df.new2 and see there's the same thing, is separating those specific rows with those months. The third method I'm showing here is using a function called filter. So to use the function, we need a library, which is dplyr. If you don't have the library, you just you have to install it. Just I wrote the code here to install a package or library. So you just have to write install.package, then inverted comma and the package name. After you install the package, if you don't have it, then you have to call the library. And after that, what I'm doing here is I'm writing the function filter, and what it is filtering is the data frame. In the data frame month column, which have these values. So this does the same job. So this, what I have shown here is separating or subsetting data frame having some selected values, but you can also separate uh, within a range. For example, I want to separate those those rows that have months within the range of 2 to 8. So let us just use the function filter. For example, I'm creating a new variable and filtering. In the data frame, I want the month to be less than equal to 8 and greater than equal to 2. And this is the AND function. Sorry, this is the AND uh, operator. And what it does is saying that select all the rows that follow this criteria. So let us check it here. So let's see, hopefully it works. And div.new for, so you see that 2 to 7, so basically means that greater than 2, and obviously there will be 8 max. So this is an example of if you want to select a range. So how about doing some kind of arithmetic here? For example, what you want is multiply 1.5 with all the values with month 2 or 4. So basically, if you look at this example, what I want is I want to multiply the rainfall with 1.5 whenever month is 2 or 4. So what I do generally is I first identify the row IDs where the month is 2 or 4. So, yeah, I have shown it before. Well, what I do is I write the which function and identify the IDs with the month row, month 4, 2 or 4. Here, if I check the IDs, so these are the IDs. Then what I do is saying data frame, whoever having these IDs and the values in the column 4, which is location A, multiply that thing with 1.5. So in the new data, obviously that will be multiplied by 1.5. So this is a really useful, some of the useful functions and some kind of pre-processing that is I really use a lot. So I hope this helps all of you, and thanks for watching the video.